drums, how long did it take until you felt that you were at sufficient skill level to play publicly?
Well, at the time, I didn't think that it took that long before I was ready to play in front of people. In retrospect, it was probably a lot later that I finally felt that I was, decent enough to kind of be out in public. Well, we played our first show like just a couple months after we started the band, and we were all really awful. But it's kind of a subjective thing. If you are in a band that's entertaining, you don't necessarily have to be the most proficient drummer. Look at like the White Stripes. What Meg White does is really an important component of the band. The band wouldn't sound the same without her. And she's probably the first to admit that she's not a super technical drummer, but there's a groove and a feel that she has that makes it a really important part of the band. So that was a long-winded answer to a pretty easy question, huh?
And so what was it like being the only, I remember back in 1991, only you knew how to play your instrument, correct? When you first started?
Well, that's what I thought. That's kind of what I'm talking about. I sort of had this idea that I had a certain skill level that, in retrospect, I don't think I really had. When I said that, I said in the past that, I was the only person who knew how to play, but really all that means is I was the only person who actually owned an instrument. You can't buy the skill and the talent, you can just buy the instrument.
Yeah.
So
do you have any humorous memories from the really early shows? Because you played them in backyards and basements.
Yeah. That's always the question that, once you get asked, your mind kind of goes blank. We played at, our first time in New York, we played in ABC No Rio, which was this old punk club. And I remember the ceiling was really low, and there was pipes right above me that were dripping on me during the show. And I found out later that they were sewer pipes. So that was pretty disgusting. So, we played lots of shows, lots of basement shows and living room shows, and we played in New Jersey in a friend's garage, and actually we weren't even really friends with them at the time. We became friends with them, the Heckle guys. Yeah. Midway through our first song of the set in their garage, they ran in and grabbed Davey and carried him outside and threw him in the pool. So we just kept playing, and Dave disappeared, and then he came back totally soaking wet, and he'd been thrown in the pool.
Which song is the most difficult for you to play live, drum-wise?
Geez, there's a lot of songs. I think the song "Smile" off of "Art of Drowning" it's more technical than most of our stuff. And we don't play it too much live, so that one always gave me problems. The song "Sacrilege" on the new record is pretty technical and difficult. It's like one of those types of things where I'm either relaxed enough and I play it well and I just get through it, or I kind of get nervous and tense up and I have a hard time through the whole song. But we haven't played that live yet, I don't think. But we rehearse it, at soundcheck.
Do you think you're going to play it live at some point? Or?
Yeah, I think so. We should have played it last night because we played in played in Nashville at this sort of religiously backed and owned venue. Rocket Town. Did it used to be called the Tabernacle? Or is that a different name?
No, that was something so outside I was talking about. So.
Oh, okay. So it would have been ironically appropriate.
What is one song you haven't played yet on this tour, for whatever reason, from any era, that you would like to?
Well, I guess Sacrilege is a good one. I really enjoyed playing It Was Mine, and we've played it live like once or twice. Yeah, and that would be that's always fun for me. We played it once, and the crowd just didn't seem to care, and so we've kind of had it in our heads that that's not really a crowd pleaser. And we may be wrong. It's the same thing with Darling I Want To off the new record. It's really fun for us to play, but it's just kind of like, it's a quiet moment in the set, and sometimes our sets already have plenty of quiet moments. Jade and I were just on the bus talking about playing the Nephilim, which is the second song off Are You Drowning? And I couldn't for the life of me remember how that song goes, and so I listened to it and still don't know what the hell I was doing. But, you know, with drumming you get into patterns. And so sometimes when we record a record I'll have this sort of certain bag of tricks that I've gotten comfortable with and put stuff, you know, throughout all the songs, but then, you know, my drumming style evolves and I kind of get away from those types of things. And so sometimes when I listen back and try to learn how to play the songs, I don't know what I was doing or how I was doing it, and I have to kind of dissect the song and do some, you know, do some research trying to figure out how I was playing back then.
So can you learn a song by listening? Like, can you relearn a song by listening, or do you have to kind of, do you like keep sheet music of your drumming?
No. I can just listen to it, generally figure out what I'm doing, and if I can't, I just fake it.
So if you weren't the drummer, which job in AFI would you most want? Provided you're equally good at bass guitar and singing.
Oh. Well.
Hey, how you guys doing?
Hey, baby.
Oh, we're just doing an interview.
Really?
Yeah, well, you want to be part of it?
I wanted to listen to David Guetta, but I'll let you guys finish that.
Okay.
Enjoy.
Thank you. Definitely don't want his job.